$62. That's what it cost me to fill up my tank last week. $62. And I drive a regular sedan, not a truck, not an SUV, just a normal car. And here's the thing that really got me. I filled up again 5 days later. 5 days. That tank should have lasted me at least 8 or 9. So I started digging. I wanted to know, where is all my gas actually going? And what I found kind of shocked me. Turns out, most of us are burning through 20 to 30% more fuel than we need to. Not because our cars are broken, not because gas is different now, but because of small, simple things we're doing, or not doing, every single day. Today, I'm giving you 6 fuel economy hacks. And I'm not talking about buy a hybrid or move closer to work. These are real, practical things you can do today, most of them for free, that can seriously stretch your tank. By the end of this video, that fuel gauge is going to be full, and so is your wallet. Let's get into it. Hack number 1, and honestly, this is the one most people are messing up without even knowing it: tire pressure. Here's what's happening. Your tires lose about 1 to 2 psi every month, just naturally. Temperature changes speed that up. Cold weather, your tires lose pressure faster. And every time you're driving on underinflated tires, you're dragging extra weight. Think of it like this. Imagine pushing a shopping cart with soft, squishy wheels versus firm ones. The soft wheels take more effort, right? Same thing with your car. Soft tires mean your engine has to work harder. Harder work means more fuel burned. The numbers are actually wild. For every 1 psi your tires are under the recommended pressure, you lose about 0.2% fuel efficiency. Doesn't sound like much until you realize most people are running 5 to 10 psi low. That's 1 to 2% of your fuel economy. Gone, just like that. And here's the thing. You can't eyeball this. A tire can look totally fine and still be 5 psi under. You need a gauge. So here's what you do. Check your tire pressure at least once a month. Do it when the tires are cold, meaning you haven't driven more than a mile or two. The correct pressure is on a sticker inside your driver's door jamb, not on the tire itself. That's the maximum pressure, not the ideal. Get a cheap digital gauge, $10, or use the one at the gas station. Fill to spec. That's it. This alone can improve your fuel economy by 3 to 4%. On a $50 fill-up, that's $2 back in your pocket every single time. Over a year, that adds up to over $100 for checking some air. 1 hack down. Fuel gauge is climbing. Let's keep going. Hack number 2. Get rid of the stuff you're not using. Specifically, roof racks, cargo boxes, and bike mounts. I know, you put that roof rack on for a camping trip 2 years ago and just never took it off. It's fine, right? It's not heavy. Here's the problem. It's not about weight, it's about aerodynamics. That roof rack is like a parachute strapped to your car. At highway speeds, it creates massive drag. Your engine has to push harder against the wind, and that eats fuel. Studies have shown that roof racks and cargo boxes can reduce fuel economy by up to 25% at highway speeds. 25%! Let me put that in real terms. If you normally get 30 miles per gallon on the highway, a roof box could drop you to 22 or 23. That's a massive difference. And it's not just roof stuff. What's in your trunk right now? Golf clubs you haven't used in months? A case of water from 3 Costco trips ago? Random stuff that just lives there now? Every extra 100 pounds in your car reduces fuel economy by about 1 to 2%. It's not huge, but it stacks. Between the roof rack and the trunk junk, you could be throwing away 5 to 10% of your gas. So here's the move. If you're not using the roof rack this week, take it off. Store it in the garage. It takes maybe 15 minutes. And go through your trunk. If it doesn't need to be in the car, it doesn't need to be in the car. Lighter car, less drag, more miles per gallon. Simple math. Hack number 3. When was the last time you looked at your air filter? If you're like most people, the answer is never, or maybe when the mechanic mentioned it. And that's fair. It's not something you think about. But here's why it matters. Your engine needs air to burn fuel. The air filter is the gatekeeper. It catches dust, dirt, pollen, all the stuff you don't want getting into your engine. But over time, it gets clogged. And when it's clogged, your engine can't breathe. What happens when your engine can't breathe? It compensates by burning more fuel. It's working harder to get the same result. Now here's where it gets interesting. Older cars, we're talking carbureted engines, could see massive improvements from a new air filter, like 10 to 14% better fuel economy. Modern fuel-injected cars are smarter. The computer adjusts, but you can still see 1 to 3% improvement with a clean filter. Plus, you get better acceleration and smoother performance. And here's the best part. It's stupid easy to change yourself. Most cars, it's literally unclip the box, pull out the old filter, drop in the new one, clip it back. 5 minutes. No tools on most vehicles. And a filter costs between $15 and $30. You should be changing this every 15,000 to 30,000 miles, or at least checking it every oil change. Here's a quick test. Hold your old filter up to the light. If you can't see light passing through, it's time for a new one. Fresh filter means fresh air, means less wasted fuel. Halfway there on the fuel gauge, let's keep this going. Hack number 4. This one is all about how you drive. And I'll be honest, this was my biggest problem. Same distance, same red light, but one car burned way more gas getting there. Why? Because every time you brake, you're throwing away energy. Think about it. Your engine burned fuel to get you up to speed. That's kinetic energy. When you slam the brakes, that energy turns into heat in your brake pads. It's gone. Wasted. You paid for that energy with gasoline and you just turned it into nothing. The smarter move, coast. When you see a red light ahead, or slowing traffic, or a turn coming up, take your foot off the gas early. Let the car coast. Use the energy you already paid for. This is called anticipatory driving, and it's how hypermilers squeeze insane numbers out of normal cars. You don't have to be extreme about it. Just look ahead. If you're going to stop in 500 feet anyway, why accelerate for another 300? Same thing with acceleration. You don't need to floor it from every green light. Gentle, steady acceleration uses way less fuel than jackrabbit starts. The aggressive driver might get there 2 seconds faster, but they burned 20 to 30% more fuel doing it for 2 seconds. Here's the mindset shift. Pretend there's a raw egg between your foot and the pedals. Gas and brake. Smooth, gentle inputs. Your fuel economy will thank you, and honestly, it's less stressful too. Hack number 5. Use cruise control. Like actually use it. I know it's there, you know it's there, but most of us only use it on long road trips, and that's leaving money on the table. Here's why cruise control helps. When you control the throttle with your foot, you're constantly making tiny adjustments, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up again. You don't even notice it, but your engine does. Cruise control keeps a steady speed. Steady speed means steady fuel consumption. No surges, no dips, no wasted gas from constant adjustments. Studies show cruise control improves highway fuel economy by up to 7% on flat roads. 7%, that's significant. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. On hilly roads, cruise control can actually hurt you. It'll accelerate hard going uphill to maintain speed, which burns extra fuel. In those situations, it's actually better to let your speed drop a bit on the incline and recover on the downhill. Use your judgment. And also, heavy traffic, obviously not the time. Safety first. But on a clear highway, flat or gently rolling, set your cruise and chill. Your right leg gets a break, and your wallet gets a break too. Hack number 6. The AC versus Windows debate. This one is more nuanced than people think. You've probably heard, AC kills your fuel economy, roll out the windows instead. And there's truth to that. Your AC compressor is powered by your engine. Running it does use extra fuel, typically around 3 to 5% at highway speeds. But here's the twist. At highway speeds, open windows create drag. Remember how we talked about roof racks? Same concept. Those open windows are catching air, acting like little parachutes, and that drag can cost you just as much fuel as the AC would have. So here's the rule of thumb. Under 45 miles per hour, city driving, around town, windows down is usually more efficient. The drag isn't significant at lower speeds. Over 45 miles per hour, highway driving, roll up the windows and use the AC. You're better off with the aerodynamics. And don't blast it colder than you need. A moderate setting uses less fuel than max cold. If your car has an Eco AC mode, use it. And there it is. The fuel gauge is full. Let's run through these one more time. Number 1, check your tire pressure monthly. Keep them to spec. Number 2, remove roof racks and extra weight you're not using. Number 3, change your air filter every 15,000 to 30,000 miles. Number 4, coast to stops. Drive smooth, not aggressive.
Number 5, use cruise control on the highway. Number 6, windows at low speeds, AC at high speeds. Stack all of these together and you're looking at 15 to 25% better fuel economy. On average, that's $200 to $400 back in your pocket every year for stuff that costs almost nothing and takes almost no time. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these hacks are you going to try first? And do you have any fuel-saving tricks that I didn't cover? Drop them in the comments. Let's help each other out. If this video saved you some money at the pump, smash that like button and subscribe if you want more practical tips like this. No fluff, just stuff that actually works. I'll see you in the next one. Drive smart.